What's up, my YouTubers? It's Jennifer, and welcome back to my cooking channel. Yay! Alright, so today I will be making 2 different recipes in 2 different videos. Alright, so if you're excited like I am, then you can go ahead and hit that big thumbs up for me. Hit it! Hit it now. I want you, I dare you, I triple dog dare you to hit that thumbs up right now. Alright, on that note, the first recipe I will be making is apple pie from scratch. Sort of. So, I did cheat and buy pie crust. Why? Because I don't have the patience to learn to make pie crust from scratch today. So I went ahead and bought 2 different pie crusts. I went ahead and bought the Pillsbury frozen kind. And I also just bought an off-brand refrigerated pie crust. I'm not sure which one I will be using. I might use one of each, is because I'm making 2 apple pies. I also bought a big bag of Granny Smith apples. Now, you want to use Granny Smith apples or a really good tart apple when you make apple pie. I've never really made apple pie from scratch with real apples. I've only made it with the pie filling, so this will be fun. But I wanted it to be authentic. I know, I should have made the pie crust from scratch. I really should have. But that's okay, because I can always make apple pie later on. I will be making 2 apple pies today. One is going to stay with us, and one is going to Jim's boss. The reason why is because Jim's boss and his wife are going way out of their way and doing us, like, massive favor with giving us a bunch of baby items. They have gone, like, above and beyond. I could not have asked for a better, like, boss for Jim, or just better people in general. I know triplets are rare, so, you know, it's exciting. But on to the video. So, basically, what you want to do, or what I'm going to do right now, you can join me if you'd like, is take these apples. You want 6 medium, roughly. I'm not really sure if these are considered medium apples, but you want 6 of these peeled and then thinly sliced. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this entire bag because I am making the 2. And I can always put extra apples. Who doesn't love extra apples in their apple pie? But I think I'll stick to the recipe for theirs, and then I'll put the extra apples in ours, and whichever pie looks better, I will give them, if that makes sense. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and sit back down, and we are going to peel some apples and answer some questions. How about that? If you're excited, then I want you to hit that subscribe button for me, because guess what? This is my new series. It's cooking, which I love to do, and I'm dancing. I don't know why. All right, let's go sit down and peel some apples, shall we? Let's. Hello, and welcome to me on my couch, peeling things. Why am I sitting on my couch while peeling things? Well, because when you're 6 months pregnant with triplets, it gets a little hard to stand up and peel a whole bag of anything. So I do have my strainer here that I'm going to put the peeled apples in, and I have, well, I might put the rinds in my strainer and then the apples in the actual bowl, because I want to give the rinds to the ducks that are in our little pond area. I don't know if our tadpoles can eat rinds, but either way, I can always put them. Ooh, actually, you know what I think I might do is I might bake them with some cinnamon apple and make like candy pickled apple rinds.
Candy pickled apple rinds.
Yes, that's what we are doing today, apparently. No, you can take apple peels and use them for like incense and stuff, so I might do that. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up my questionnaires, and we're going to go ahead to peeling. So, all right, question number 1 is, how far will you adventure in just your pajamas? Just to get the mail or all the way to the grocery store? Pajamas? I will go anywhere in my pajamas. I love pajamas. I'm wearing pajamas right now while doing this. I could put on actual clothes. But no, me wearing pajamas is basically a t-shirt, tank top. It's anything that I want to wear. I've always been comfortable wearing pajamas, and it doesn't bother me to wear pajamas. I mean, I won't wear them to like a nice event like a wedding or anything, but if I'm just going to the grocery store or whatever, yeah, of course I'm going to wear pajamas. Number 2, what's a better adventure, scuba diving or rock climbing? Never been scuba diving, so I have been rock climbing, so I will say rock climbing. Scuba diving kind of scares me a little bit. only because somehow, like, going up to, like, sunken ships, I don't know why, scares me. I have an unnatural fear of drowning, which is really weird. I love the water. I will always swim in the water, but somehow coming up to, like, what is it called? Coming up to, like, sunken ships kind of scares me, and I have no idea why. Anyways, number 3. Favorite SpongeBob SquarePants episode? Okay. My favorite episode, I haven't seen all the new ones, obviously. I don't watch SpongeBob very often, but my favorite episode of what I have seen of SpongeBob has to be, hands down, the one where he gets the pencil and he draws evil SpongeBob, and then evil SpongeBob erases regular SpongeBob. That has to be probably my favorite one. I actually do have a SpongeBob pin. That's the evil SpongeBob, like the drawing of it. It's so funny. Number 4, what is the strangest nickname you have ever been given? I'm not really sure if I have any strange nicknames. I mean, my nieces and my nephew call me Tata. The reason why they call me Tata is because there used to be an event here in town that me and my mom have never gone to, but we've always wanted to. It's Save the Tatas. It's a auction that you bet on guys, and the proceedings go to breast cancer awareness to, like, help, breast cancer. And we've always wanted to go. And the event is called Save the Tatas. And there was a funny thing where I can't remember who was with me and my mom, but we were joking around, and it got into this thing where, like, we were saying something about, like, tassels and how you should just do tassels to save the Tatas. I don't really remember, but it's stuck ever since my nieces and nephew were, like, babies. And now they're, like, going to be, how old are they going to be? See, my daughter's 9, so they're going to turn 12 and 11 in November, so it's been a while. Number 5, how would you describe yourself with one emoji? If I had to choose an emoji for me, what's, like, that one with the swirly eyeballs and, like a star thingy around the head and, like, a question mark above it? Yeah, because I'm always, like, ADHD and spazzy and, like, hello. I'd probably pick one of those. Number 6, dogs or cats? And yes, there is a right answer. There is no right answer when you say dogs or cats. Dogs or cats? Well, considering I own both, I personally am more of a dog person. Nothing against cats, and which was weird because I have 4 cats. But 4 cats was unintentionally. But I am definitely more of a dog person, just because dogs you can actually take more places and do more things with. You can take your cat traveling and stuff, and I know people do put their cats on a leash and walk them and stuff, but to me that's just silly. Or you can get that backpack, that clear backpack that cats sit in, but to me that's just silly. So I would say I'm more of a dog person. Number 7, if you could switch lives with anybody for a day, who would it be? Lives with my sister, for one sister. Number 8, how long do you think you could last in Hunger Games? Okay, fun fact, I actually just recently, this year, saw the Hunger Games. I know, right? So I think we bought the first 3 of them. So we binged watched Hunger Games. I'm not sure how many Hunger Games there are out there. I don't even know if there's 4 or 5.
Such a fool.
I know, shocking, right? But could I survive the Hunger Games? I think I probably could, honestly. I think I probably could. I'd probably get killed in, like, the second game, but I think I could hold my own. Number 9. What's the worst opening line anyone has ever used on a dating app? Well, I can really know the worst opening line because I don't really know that one, because I would say anything that just is, like, something too cocky or something. Like, you're trying, if you're a girl looking for a guy and the guy says, like, handsome, rich, something like that, I don't know. That just seems fake. Moving forward. All right. Number 10. I lost the question. Number 10. Titanic. Well, that's the icebreaker out of the way. How are you doing? Right now, currently, how am I doing? Well, right now, I am confused on how to peel apples, apparently. Sitting down talking to you guys, and just doing my ADHD self, because we were going to make apple pie. Number 11. Actually, let's go back to number 10. How are you guys doing? How have your guys been doing? How's the weather wherever you live? Comment below where you live. How's the weather? I don't care if it's overseas. I love meeting people overseas. And just tell me who you are and a little, like, hi there, hello. Number 11. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Wow, I don't know who made up these questions, but some of them are really cheesy. That's one of those cheesy lines that it's cute, but it's really stupid. Number 12. Are you a magician? Because when I look at you, everyone else disappears. These must be dating questions, because that one's really stupid too. Let's scroll down. All right, so we're going to move on to these ones. Number 1. If animals could talk, who would be the rudest? You know, I'm believing that some of the nicest looking animals, like koalas or sloths, would probably be pretty rude. Because if you think about it, you would unexpectedly think that they'd be like chilled and happy. Panda bears. Panda bears, I bet, would be rude. Say like a sloth or a panda bear would be pretty rude. Number 2, is cereal a soup? I might have actually done these questions before. Is cereal soup? Sure, why not? You eat it with a spoon, it has a liquid. Cereal could be a soup. Unless you're eating, cereal right out of the box. Then is it considered soup? But number 3, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? Well, it depends on the elephant, because if the chicken scares the elephant could trip and fall and not be able to get back up, hence kills the elephant. I know that's really dark and graphic. I am sorry, you guys. I highly apologize if you found that very offensive, but that was a rude question. What spot would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to? Oh, what sport? What spot? What spot? Like as if it's on your body. What sport would be the funniest to add mandatory alcohol to? Well, considering you could probably drink in most sports, what sport? I don't know. Because you can drink in fishing, and that could be fun. You can drink in golf. That would, they serve those bar carts in golf. Tennis. Tennis would be kind of fun. I've never watched tennis, but tennis would be kind of fun because then it'd be fun to watch people try to hit the ball. And their depth perception, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know why I was thinking of tennis, but we'll go with tennis. All right, we're going to do these questions. Number 1, what was your most embarrassing moment? I don't really know, to be honest, because I think anything to do with me when I was drunk was probably embarrassing. Getting DWIs is embarrassing, so we'll go with that one. Don't drink and drive. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from a lot of other people's mistakes. Just don't drink and drive. It's not worth it. It really, truly isn't. So I'm going to say the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened was drinking and driving. Number 2, do you have any strange abilities or skills? I don't think so. I mean, I used to think that I have this very shallow vein in my hand. And if I lay my hand flat, my vein rolls. Hello, and welcome to Up Close and Personal with Jennifer. I'm in my bathroom. All right, so while editing this video, I realized I didn't really explain the rolling of the veins very well. I said when I lay my hand flat. Basically, if I lay my hand flat and I do it like this, if I move this finger, this vein, I don't know if you guys can see that at all, tends to roll. So, like, if you could see that vein tends to roll. So, like, if you could see that vein somewhere, it tends to roll. That's what I was trying to explain. But anyways, continue on with the story. And I used to sit there when I was in grade school. And I went to Catholic school. So when I was in grade school and we had church days, and when you're a kid, you get bored in church. I mean, it's the honest truth. You just space off in church. And I would sit there and put my hand on the pew. And I would roll my veins, and I would freak out whoever sat next to me for that day and say, it's a worm in my hand. And I don't know if that's a strange ability or talent, but we're going to go with that one. Number 3. What was your favorite childhood show? Friends is the very first thing that pops into my mind. Because when we were little, there were 6 of us, and there were 6 friends. And we wanted so badly, there was these new condos going up in Omaha, Nebraska, in downtown. And we thought, when we were little, that we were going to live in those condos in downtown Omaha, Nebraska. And they're by Allegra Park, I think. I think it's called Allegra Park. I could be wrong. If you are from Omaha, Nebraska, or if you've ever been to Omaha, Nebraska, you know where the big slides used to be in that park. There are condos. I haven't been there since I was 16, so I don't know if everything's changed. But there's these condos that are going up right near the river, which faces Council Bluffs, Iowa. And we wanted to, this was, again, in like the 90s. But we wanted to live in those condos, two different condos, and live like friends. That was our goal when we were little. It's so fun. All right. On the note, since I've only got 4 questions done on this one, I already had and peeled all the apples. So now I'm going to go back into the kitchen, wash these all off, or rinse them all off really fast, and we're going to go ahead and start the pie crust according to the packaging. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Let's. All right. So for the frozen pie crust, it says to make 1 crust baked pie shell. It says heat oven to 400. So let's go ahead and heat my oven to 400, shall we? Let's see. Bake 400. Start. Heat up. Then it says let crust thaw for 10 to 20 minutes. Prick bottom and round side thoroughly with a fork. I'm pretty sure from peeling the apples and doing the questionnaires that it's been resting for about 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and open this. And it says stab with a fork. Alright, second step is let 1 crust thaw 10 to 20 minutes. Prick bottom and around the sides thoroughly with a fork. So I'm pretty darn sure that it rested for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes while I did the questionnaires. I'm probably poking. It doesn't say how many times to poke it. Oh, I do have to like remove one of them. So let's remove one of them. Okay. So we got that pricked. Second one says, or the third step is bake on oven rack 9 to 11 minutes or until lightly browned, cool. Fill as directed as your recipe. So while the oven is cooking, while the oven is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and get the second pie crust done. So I'm going to set this one aside for the moment, and we're going to get out my second pie crust. Okay. Step 1. Bring crust to room temperature. If crusts are refrigerated, remove sleeves from box and let pouches stand at room temperature 15 to 20 minutes. So I have the 2 pouches out, and like I said, from peeling the apples, I'm pretty darn sure that these have set out long enough. If the crusts are frozen, remove sleeves. Okay, we don't have to worry about that part because they're frozen. Step 1. Place crust in an ungreased 9-inch pie pan. Ooh, I actually need a pie pan. Let me go get one. Houston, we have a problem. So my pie dish, if you guys did see my cooking stuffed peppers video, where I used my pie glass baking dish and it exploded. If you haven't seen that video, well, pause this one then and go watch that one because it's hilarious. Yes, my oven safe glass baking dish for pie crust exploded. Yes. So I'm going to have to use this deep one, but that's okay. This is a 8.25 inches. So we're going to just have to use that one. And hopefully it will, now I lost my box, and hopefully it'll work. All right. It says 9-inch, well, 8.25, whatever. Press crust firmly against sides and bottom. All right. So let's go ahead and firmly. Oh, wait. Do I have to spray you first? It does not spray. It does not say spray. It just says place crust in bottom and press firmly. Okay. We're going to see it then. I can get one open. I feel like I've never made pie before. I've always bought those pie crusts that are in, what are they? Oh my god. The pie crusts are in the baking aisle. The ones that are already like made and stuff. Let's see, I don't know if you guys can see me very well. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to attempt to press this down. How well this is going to work. This pie might be ours because this one's looking kind of sad looking. It's looking sad. It's looking sad. Okay, so it says press. What do you say? Okay, it says. I know I just wiped my eye. All right. Press crust firmly against sides and bottom. Sides and bottom. Okay. One crust pie using 4 fingers and thumbs. Pinch the crust to create a scalloped edge. Well, it's already pretty much getting a scalloped edge, so we'll just go ahead and make it more scallopedy. We'll make it more scallopedy, shall we? Let's make it more scallopedy. Scallopedy. Okay, well, this crust. You know what? We're just gonna go with it. I should have made this from scratch, you guys. I really should have made this from scratch, but that's okay. All right, now that that's kind of in a sort of scalloped thing here, just trying to perfect it. I know my scallops are not even here, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. Okay, scallop trim excess if necessary. Well, considering I'm using a deep dish. It's a deep dish apple pie. Hey, this is actually good because it's deep dish, which means if I have apples left over from the other one and I wanted to use extra apples in this one, I can, because this one is a deep dish, if that makes sense. And this is what it looks like in this viewfinder. It's unpeeling. All right. So after that, it says, if necessary, bake shell, which means heat oven to 450. Generously prick the bottom and the sides of the fork. Where's my fork go? Fork. Generously prick the bottom and. It says generously. So I'm unscalloping mine. All right. My oven just beeped, so I'm going to go ahead and put the first pie crust in. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the first pie crust in for 9 to 11 minutes. So I'll go ahead and do that. And we will go ahead and set my timer for, we'll do 10 minutes. That's a good in between. All right, so while that's doing their thing, I'm going to let this guy rest with my cutting board on top so nothing flies in it. And on that note, we are going to wait. So I will see you in 10 minutes. Hi. Okay, it hasn't been 10 minutes, but when I went back to the couch, I found a rogue apple. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this apple now. I don't know why this apple just decided it did not want to be peeled. This poor apple, does not want to be baked in an apple pie. It's very sad, but that's okay. All right, well, while the pie crust is baking, the first one, the frozen pie crust is baking, I'm going to go ahead and thinly slice these apples. And then hopefully by the time these apples are done, I can put the second pie crust in and we'll go from there. All right. So my timer just went off on my first pie crust, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out now. And with oven mitts, that would help so I don't burn myself, yes. Okay, so this is what it's looking like right here. It's cooked, it's slightly brown. I don't know if you guys could see that. You probably could see it in this one better. But we're going to set those aside. And we're going to turn up the oven to 450 now. And we're going to, once that one is reheated up to 450, then we're going to put the second crust in, but I'm going to go ahead and continue these apples. And now the second pie crust has to go in for 10 to 12 minutes. So I'm going to put that one in for 11 minutes. Alright, since my dumb butt, and you probably can't, my dumb butt accidentally turned off the oven, so it's been sitting there reheating for about 2 minutes, so it said 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put it on for 9 minutes. So that's cooking. I'm going to finish my apples. Alright, this is all the 6 apples. I still have 5 apples left, so that means that there was 11 apples. I might have put 7 apples in here, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dice these ones as thin as this, and I'm going to just combine all of those into here and then divide this up between the pie. Alright, we're going to take out the second pie crust and see how it looks. It fell! Oh no! That's okay. You know what? Yes, that's the second one. That's okay, because that one will be our pie crust. Alright, so now that all of the apples are cut thinly, and the middle bits are in a bowl, you know, like the middle scrappy parts, with all of the seeds, I did make sure that none of the seeds fell into the actual cut up apples, and I'm keeping the top half of the refrigerated pie crust because I'm going to cut it into slats, and slats or lattices, whatever it's called, to make that crisscrossy thingy on top of the pie crust. I did do one fail, besides the fact that the pie crust fell, but I kind of knew that going into that, so that's okay. But my dumb butt, this is why this is a great fun show or series that I started. So my dumb butt put the frozen pie crust on top of the other pie crust. So this one also baked for 10 minutes with the, whatever this is on top of it. It doesn't feel like it's baked, so I might be able to salvage this one. But that was fun. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and get to the rest of the ingredients ready to coat the apples while the pie crust are both chilling. Alright, so as you guys saw, the second pie crust, I'm going to let this chill out. It did fall, and of course I forgot to turn off my timer. So the pie crust fell. So it's a good thing that we're using this one for our pie crust. I don't know if that's going to work for pie. Now the sides, actually it might, because the sides are kind of curled up right here. If you guys can see that, the sides are kind of curled up. But this one also has to chill out and cool down as well. So I'm going to put this one aside, continue chopping my apples. Alright, so with getting all of this ready, I do have to turn my oven back on because I turned it off for the moment. It says, step 1, heat oven to 425. Place 1 pie crust in an ungreased 9-inch glass pie plate and press firmly against side and bottom. Well, we don't need to do that. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put all the rest of the ingredients onto the apples, toss them together, try to get them as evenly coated as possible, and then divide the apples up between the 2 pie crusts. And then I will top the pie crust with the other pie crust, if that makes any sense. So let's go ahead and do that now, shall we? Let's. Alright, since we are doubling this recipe, I'm going to go ahead and add the 3/4 cups sugar times 2. So we need 3, so that's 6 4th cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Set my sugar aside somewhere, don't know where. I forgot to turn on my oven, that would help. Bake 425. Start. Alright, Then it says we need 2 tablespoons of flour. So 4 tablespoons of flour. Oh, I'm getting flour everywhere. Flour. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 4 tablespoons flour. Set you aside. Actually, I could just put you guys away, because I don't need you guys out right now. All right. We need 3/4 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. So we have a 1/4 teaspoon. Did I say tablespoon or did I say teaspoon? 3/4 ground cinnamon. I'm saying 3/4 ground cinnamon. 3/4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. So that means I need these. This measuring thing is 1/4, so I need 6 of these. So let's measure out 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So that's 6 of those. And then it says a 4 teaspoon of salt. Well, we'll just go ahead and just add a little salt. And then an 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg times 2, which is 1/4. Which I did not even open my nutmeg. Dude, okay, so has anybody noticed, those who actually do bake on a pretty regular basis, I was sticker shocked or price shocked with how expensive nutmeg is. Oh my god, it smells so good though. Oh my god, it smells so good. This right here is what smells like fall. So we need 1 of these because it's 2/8. I'll go ahead and do my little, I had to do this back to the thing. 1. Nutmeg here for this little tiny thing, I think it was close to $5. I could have found it cheaper somewhere else. I probably am sure. I decided to not get the apple pie mix because that was $6. And nutmeg actually goes in a lot of other recipes that I want to make, like a lot of my Indian dishes. But after you do the 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, nutmeg, don't know what I'm doing here. Then we need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So we need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm pretty sure I just dumped a bunch of lemon juice in there. I'm pretty sure that prevents browning. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this. Let me go ahead and make sure my hands are really thoroughly washed off. I have washed my hands so much in this video, it's ridiculous, but you know, you can never be too careful. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and mix this all up. Ever like made apple pie from scratch and have always wondered like how they get the apples coated to where it looks like pie filling? This is actually kind of fun. Now I'm going to wash off my hands because I have to move my cameras. I have to move my camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have 2 pie crusts. Actually, I'm going to do that one last. Okay. This pie crust here is the one that I'm going to be using for Buck and his wife. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and do this with my hands and kind of fill it in. But you want to divide this up between them both. And this is going to be our apple pie, which is going to be not the greatest, but that's okay. I probably did way too many apples, but can you really have too many apples in apple pie? I mean, really? I mean, they don't have to be pretty. Alright. I think I did too many. I'm thinking I did too many. I'm trying to get this as even as possible. Trying to get this as even as possible. Alright, well, that's about as good as it's going to get. I do have some apples left over here. So I might just use these for a snack later on for me or something. Alright, I know I said I was going to use a refrigerated pie crust to cut little like those ladder type things. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and use the top portion of this pie crust that I accidentally did bake with the other one. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it on top of the other pie crust. And if I can even... Okay, this is not working out the way I thought it was going to. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. Instead, that's not going to work, so alright, so that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do instead then is I'm just going to put this one on top. Like so. Cut off the excess. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Okay, so we're going to... I don't know how I'm doing this. I know you guys can see my other camera, but I'm trying to figure out where to cut it at. I guess here. Well, that would be kind of stupid. I should cut it on the outside, shouldn't I? No. If it's not perfect, as long as the taste is good. I mean, this is the first time I've ever actually done pumpkin pie, so I'm probably doing it completely wrong. Okay, well, now I'm going to go ahead and pinch the sides. Because I don't want any apple bits to come out. Actually, it's looking kind of good. So then I'm just going to make the fancy little thingy here so it doesn't explode. So it doesn't explode. And I'm going to use this bit for something else. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in for, let me find my recipe. I don't know how long. How long do I put you guys in for? Okay. I need foil. I need foil to cover the ends. I do have foil. I do have foil. I do have foil. Okay. Don't need that much foil. Okay, so to cover the ends. Cover the ends don't burn. Okay. Cover the ends do not burn. Cover the ends so the ends do not burn. Cover the ends do not burn. And I'm trying to get like the top pie crust as well covered, and I'm trying not to put it too far up. Alright, so alright, so that's what we're looking at. Okay, so the first pie that's going to Buck and his wife is going to go in the oven. So I'm going to make a few more slats here, or more holes. It's not going to look perfect. It's not going to look perfect, you guys. It's not going to look perfect. But okay, I think I aerated it enough. All right, bake 40 to 45 minutes or until apples are tender and crusted is golden brown. Cover the edge of the crust with 2 to 3 inch wide strips of foil. After the first 15 to 20 minutes of baking to prevent excess brownie. Cool on a cooling rack at least 2 hours before serving. Alright, this was supposed to be this crust, the refrigerated crust, but hopefully this will be good. It's poking out here, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and put this in for 40 So we're going to go ahead and put this in for about 40-45 minutes and hope for the best. Like I said, there's a little bit poking out here, but we're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. I'm going to move all my other stuff out of the way here. Alright, so oven. Put you in. Alright, say bye-bye. Alright, so now we go to timer. We'll put you in for 40 minutes and we'll go from there. Alright, so for my failed apple pie, I'm going to go ahead and do it I'm going to go ahead and figure out how to do the crust in a weird way. And we're just going to go from there. I'm going to go ahead and probably put this one into the fridge until that pie is baked and then bake this one. Yes, that is how my pie is looking. All right, let's zoom on my fail. All right, so while the pie is baking, I realized after reading the instructions, yeah, so I should have baked it for 20 minutes and then covered it with tin foil, as opposed to covering it for tin foil. Because at first I read cover it with tin foil and bake for 20 minutes. But I was like, then you have to remove it, don't you? So that was second fail. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at cooking. I promise you guys, I actually know how to cook and bake. I don't bake often. I've never actually made, like I said 1,000 times already, I've never made apple pie from scratch. I've only used pie filling things with the already pre-made pie crust that are in the baking aisle. So I've never made it this way. But what I think I'm going to do is, since it's already covered with foil for 20 minutes, at the 20-minute mark, I'm going to go ahead and take off the foil and then bake it the rest of the 20 minutes, so for the full 40 minutes. And hopefully it won't be too raw on the outside. Hopefully. Alright. Alright, well now that it has been well past 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead, open my oven. I'm going to pull out my rack here. We're going to go and burn myself. I'm going to go ahead and take off this foil so the edges can cook. And then we're going to put that back in there. But it's looking pretty good, you guys. And it's got about 15 minutes left. All right. Alright, so some of the apple bits did go out of the crust, but that's okay. This is what the finished product looks like. I'm going to let that cool down, and hopefully they will like it. Alright, I forgot. I'm going to put my stupid one in the oven now. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to turn that back on to 40 minutes. Alright. Alright, so I put some of the pie filling fell in the oven. I'm going to have to clean it off. I'm going to put mine in there, and we're going to put that one in there as well for 40 minutes. Timer. Let that heat up again. Alright, no, it has not been 40 minutes, but it just dawned on me. I can use this pie crust for the extra excess apples and just pour them all into that one Now I won't have a top for this one, but I can kind of make a little mini apple pie with no top. My original idea with this apple pie was I was going to use the bottoms of the pie crust and then make the topping from scratch. That way it wouldn't be completely all messed up, but alright, so let's take out our apple pie. I'm going to turn, actually I'm going to keep that on. We're going to take out our apple pie. Yep, our apple pie ends got a little crispy, but that's ours. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in, the stupid one in. The stupid open face apple pie. And I'm only going to put that in there for about probably 15 minutes just to bake the apples. I'll probably put it in there for 20 minutes. Alright, round 3 of taking out apple pies while I turn off the oven. Because I do not need the oven on anymore. Or the timer. If you see this pan here, that is for tonight's dinner. So, the open face apple pie. That is the open face apple pie. Actually, that one looks really good. So that is my series of cooking 3 different types of apple pies. Let's review, shall we? Let's. So we have number 1. This apple pie here is going to Buck and his wife. It's not the best looking pie, as you can tell, but it does smell really, really good. The crust is cooked. It's not completely burnt. I'm not going to cut into it. This is going to be wrapped up in tin foil and given to them. And then we have our weird looking apple pie with the burnt crispy edges. And we have the open face apple pie. Yay! So on that note, if you did enjoy this series of apple pies, hit that big thumbs up for me, please, please. I know I failed on some of the things, but that's okay. You know, it's a work in progress. I'm getting better. I don't bake often.